Listener discretion is advised. This podcast may include profanity and discussion of sensitive topics. Any opinions expressed are those of the speaker and do not reflect the opinions of any other person or entity. Welcome to episode 16 of The Real Future. I'm photographer John Nyboer, and I started this podcast to share the stories and perspectives behind the world's largest arts movement. I paused these conversations for a couple of months because my studio is just too damn hot in the middle of summer. The fall is now in full swing, and I'm back in action. My guest today is Lisa Bauford, aka L-boogie. L-boogie is a dancer, MC, educator, and the creative force behind the apparel brand Blame Boogie. She's also the type of person who, whenever and wherever you might meet, makes you feel better about being alive, and I was really excited to have her as a guest. We talk about her Florida roots, coming up as a basketball player, and the street dance community's ability to bring people together and break down social boundaries. In general, we had a really good time, and at the very end, I get a little Jook City dance lesson. So let's get back into the real future with L-boogie. Interview street dancers, but also, you know, let's face it, who do we really need another like middle-aged dude with a podcast? Right? Not necessarily, but I did feel like I'm very focused on this community, and nobody's really doing that. That,
I was gonna say,
you know?
I appreciate it, and I'm pretty sure everybody that's like sat in these chairs really appreciate the work that you're doing and what you're doing, like for the community. It's like everything that you do, it's like you put love, so much love into and show love to the community that I think this makes sense. Like, we want to help you make this big because it's also helping the community. So,
I love that. That's definitely where I'm coming from. So it's good to know that it's being received that way.
Yeah, I was going to say, you
never know.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I always tell like dancers, you know, especially the young ones. Like, if I see somebody get out there and they're like, because, you know, I don't know all the details necessarily, but I can tell like by this point.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, I love what you did, you know, because it's just, you don't know. Right. Like I remember the one that really stands out to me, like Tactic. Because when he first started dancing, I was like, oh, he's going to be it. So I was
he's
like,
gonna be a couple
of years you're going to be destroying people.
Exactly.
And this year he started.
Yeah, it's beautiful to see that
people, right?
From the beginning, like you get a chance to witness that. And I think that is so cool to be able to. I was just talking to someone yesterday, I can't remember who it was, about it was actually about Precise, because I just I did the Battle of the Reseda Rising, and I was hosting with Pierre, and he, just watching him from just some years back when I first moved here, and you know, I just met him, and seeing his transition from then to now, like transformation, like he's always been good.
Yes.
But something has clicked in his brain where it's so him when I watch him dance. Like, you know how like you see Slim Boogie dance and that's Slim. You know what I mean? Precise has stepped into that, and it's just so beautiful to watch him just go. It's
I
just beautiful.
agree. I feel like he's always had a strong personal style, but it was real actually at that by hand battle where he did stuff that I told him too. I was like, you did stuff I've never seen you do.
Exactly.
Right? Because he's so
these past two,
his fundamentals are so strong that sometimes he doesn't get outside of that, right?
He is, man.
But he really
something has like I said, like he's always been incredible to watch, but something has clicked in him where he just looks so, for lack of better words, comfortable in his knowledge of himself in the style.
Right.
And I'm just like, man, it just is beautiful to watch you just fucking do you.
Yeah.
And it's just
I do love to see that. And it like I remember a couple other people that come to mind, like Chantel, when she after the pandemic came back like that, and Son Lam too, like both really talented, physically, like with wide vocabularies. But there was something that like clicked. Let's do the little formal L-boogie.
Yes.
Welcome to the Real Future.
Thank you for having me. Come on, Real Future.
I'm so glad to have you here. Your flowers are calla lilies.
Those are beautiful.
They look colorful. Calla lilies? Yeah, everybody gets flowers, I
love it.
As you know.
Yeah.
Or, well, you know now.
I know now.
And I went downstairs and I was looking at what they had and I was like, That looks bright. And there's almost a little tie-dye kind of thing going on with the...
Good job.
So
yeah.
I figured
I
they work.
Those are beautiful.
So there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I would like to follow up on something. We were just, I don't know, some of that might make it in, but some
of course.
But you were just mentioning you met, you were like, oh, I met Precise when I first moved out here. When did you move out here?
I moved out here in 2019.
In 2019?
2019, and was working on a show in Vegas with the company I've been working for called iLuminate for the past 13 years. And we were working on the show out there, and the pandemonium swooped in and was like... The
pandemonium, I like that.
Nope, we're going to go ahead and just not do this right now. So it was like, I moved out here right at the worst best time. I always say the worst best.
Wait, so you were working for them from...
Yeah, I've been working with them since 2012, but I moved out here because we're going to start working on a production, a show in Vegas. So that was the whole point. I was like, I'm going to make the move. My biggest thing, I was always like, as an artist and as a dancer, I was always like, anytime I go somewhere, if I'm moving somewhere, I want to make sure I have some stability, some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So New York happened for me in 2012. Moved to New York, was there for 3.5 years working on an Off-Broadway show with them, then traveled the world, did a whole bunch of other things. And then when we started working on a production of this show for Vegas, they were like, hey, I told myself this might be a good time to move, because I've wanted to live in LA for many, many moons. And I was just like, it's not the right time. It's not the right time.
Okay, wow, you just dropped, we're going to have to get into some of that, because I like details and
I got you.
Okay, so where did you grow up?
I grew up in Florida.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so for anybody listening to this podcast, if you're wondering why 90% of my guests are from Florida, I don't know why. It's because Florida dancers are just dope. I don't know what else to say.
We're incredible humans.
This has been talked about before, and it is really amazing.
There's something in the water. We always say it's something in the water. St. Petersburg, Florida.
St. Petersburg. Okay.
727 #727. I have to say that. You know what I'm saying?
And did you grow up with any of the folks that are now in LA?
So I know, everyone pretty much from Florida I know. I used to teach at a place called the Royal Theater, which is...
Teach dance or...
Teach dance.
Teach dance. Okay.
And Tyler and Robo both were previous students of mine, and anytime they would come to class, it was like every now and again, but they would always stay because the Royal Theater was somewhere where everyone came. This was our community. You could come here, dance. There's music. There's art. Everything, and that's where
Robo talked about this.
Yeah, everybody went, and they would always stay and always be in the room and just sessioning all the time. So it's just been beautiful to watch. Me knowing them when they were little, smaller teenagers, to now seeing them here, and just, man, I'm just so proud of them. I'm so incredibly, just beyond proud.
So you were their teacher on some...
Yeah, just many, many moons ago. This was many, many moons ago. Yeah.
And so that's super interesting. Were you teaching, what style of dance were you teaching?
It was hip-hop.
Hip-hop.
Yeah.
And how did you come up in that? What's your first memory of dancing and being like, okay, I gotta
get
you. Into this.
So I tell this story often. So where I grew up in St. Petersburg, Florida. Gainesville, Florida first. I moved to St. Petersburg, Florida when I was 11. So before that, I was living in Gainesville.
Okay.
And my great-great-grandma lived on this long dirt road back in woods. And
the real America.
Yeah. So my siblings and I, and my mom, and we ended up moving in with her at one point in my life. And I just remember there was this place that was either a juke joint kind of situation. I don't know. All I know is I was 4 or 5 years old.
Sorry, choking on my water here.
And that's all right. And my mom took me with her. So I'm there, and I just remember being in the middle of the floor. I have this very vivid memory. I'm in the middle of the floor. There's lights going on everywhere, and I'm dancing, and everybody around me is just clapping and watching me. I had to be 3 or 4 years old. I was little, and I have that is where my love for performing actually started. Not even for hip hop. It was just that joy. Everyone in my family dances. Everybody in my family, it's a dancing family. If you know me and if you've ever been to any function that we've ever had, somebody battling somebody or somebody dancing, we doing a lot.
Okay.
Yes, and I have, everybody that knows me knows that. If you go into Lisa house and they having a gathering, we dancing. we're dancing. So that kind of is where the love for just being an entertainer started. Now, when it comes to hip hop, my stepdad had a lot to do with that, because me being little, and he used to have this Chevrolet, like old model Chevrolet, and he had like everybody back in the day, I don't know what it was about, they needed to have the loudest system in the back.
How old are we talking here?
I'm 7, 8. Yeah.
No, the car.
Oh, the car? Oh, it was oh my God, what year was that? It was in 1990.
Oh, not that old.
No, it wasn't that
Okay.
old. No.
No, I'm just curious.
I mean, that'd be nice.
When I was growing up in grade school, my mom had a '64 Impala.
Oh no, he had an Impala. It was an Impala, but I don't. It was a I'd say maybe it was 80s. It wasn't 90s. I think it was
kind.
80s. Yeah. It was a square.
Okay.
The box.
Yes,
you know,
yes,
it was a
yes,
box,
yes.
you know. But yeah, just all of the music that he would play was always like hip hop. I just remember listening to like, he loved like West Coast music too. But I know African Bambaataa was always playing. It was like there was always something, and it was always like I just gravitated towards that music. And then obviously him having these big speakers in the back, it was just like loud. So that became like I just fell in love with the just hip hop, the music, what it stood for, what it meant. Like, yeah, I just was like, this feels right. This feels me. This feels like, you know. But the crazy part about this too is that wasn't my first love. My first love was basketball. Everything started with sports for me.
You're gonna derail us.
I know. I have so
much.
I have so much, but we could talk about that later. But yeah, for me, for sure, it was at that younger age, and then just the music.
Interesting. Okay, so the reason I said derail, I won't get too. I'm a huge basketball fan, right? Like I'm a crazy Lakers fan. But you probably noticed me wearing Lakers gear out a lot. And how did you transfer? I think you were the third person. So Hans had that background. I don't know if you guys ever talked about it. Did you ever dunk on Hans?
No, I have not yet. I would need a trampoline.
Do you know Slim started out playing basketball?
I didn't know that.
I talked to him personally about that once years ago.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah,
interesting. But how did you make the switch?
It actually just kind of naturally happened, and I will have to credit my cousin Charles Smith with this. Yes, I'm crediting you, Charles. He started a dance team, and this was after college. I had moved back home. I was 22, I believe.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to CCM, County College of Morris in New Jersey. Yeah, I bounced around. I went to St. Petersburg College as well for a year, and then went to CCM. And he had a dance team, and he would always just tell me cause we always dance. So he's like, I want you to come check us out and see us. And the dance crew was called Kill It. That's just what it was, but we was killing it. So that's why. I like it.
That's not so bad.
Right? So he was like, I want you to come in and help me actually choreograph some stuff. And we started I always loved it, but I started falling in love with the process of creating and putting together different, you know what I mean? A piece, basically.
Yes.
And yeah, I will credit my family first, just my family in general, my mom, my stepdad, my brother, my sister. But Charles was the one that actually was like, hey, let's start. I want you to come help me out with this. And that's where my love for choreography. Now, before that, I battled. It was just all battle. I was a part of the battle.
On the weekends when you weren't at basketball practice, or how did that?
This was
because I know basketball can be very demanding if you're serious about it.
So this
right?
was after. So basketball was from the age of 7 or 8 all the way through 20, 20, I would say, 21. Wow. That was my life. If I'm dance was not where I saw myself being a part of. I said, if I'm not playing in the WNBA, I'm going overseas to play. I was going to join the military just to play basketball.
Were you a ball handler? What was your?
Oh yeah. I was a point guard. Man, I was nice. I mean, I'm still nice, but I was nice. I had write-ups in the paper and everything, and them coming to ask me what kind of shoes are these? I was like, man, yeah, I'm supposed to be doing this, but. Yeah, those were not the cards that were laid out for me. But yeah, that transition definitely I have to credit my cousin.
So you must have been even though you say basketball is your main thing, you must have been when you're going to these parties and these battles.
Oh yeah.
You must have been.
I was a club kid for sure.
Slowly leveling up your dance.
Mm-hmm.
You're honestly basketball kept you in shape.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to worry about that part.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a club kid, man. I was always at the club. That was the other thing. Me and my cousin would always go out together. And I'm from I'm Jook City. That's our our thing. Like all the Tampa, like if you talk to anybody, like if you had them sit here and they tell you about all the styles and stuff from Florida, like I fell in love with that just Jook City in itself.
How is that different from Memphis Jooking?
Oh, so we call it Jook City just because Memphis Jooking is its own style. We call Tampa Jook City because Jooking is just like a style, like Jooking, like we Jooking, we just dancing. But it was a way that we did it that it's not Jooking.
So it really has nothing to do.
It has nothing to do
with the other one.
No, at all.
Do you have any idea? So to make sure I understand you, are you saying that Jook City is a nickname for
Jook City is a nickname for for Tampa, Florida, because that's what people like. We like to jook. So Jooking, we call like jook. We just dance jook, jook, and then the K Wayne with it, like all the styles. That's how we called all of it. Like it encompasses like Tampa is Jook City because we jook. But Jookin is a completely different thing. Memphis Jookin is completely different.
I've never heard of what you're talking about. So I gotta clear that up.
Yeah, for sure. But anyone like listening to this, they were like anybody from Florida.
Yeah.
And they understand like the difference of, and just dancers in general, I think understand like.
Oh, this is great because I as we addressed earlier, I've met so many Florida dancers. You guys have taken over, but I've never really heard of a style that comes
we call it Jook City
out of
we
Florida
got
or South Florida, however you look at it,
the K Wayne with it, and there's a lot of like artists like songs that we have a song called Wig. There's also Tampa Tony have to credit Tampa Tony as one of the just incredible. Like I'll give you some music and some folks to listen to, but
sounds great. I will.
A lot of different dances come from But Jook City, like, because we always jooking, we jook, and everybody know about them shoulders. If you from, you know about them shoulders. I had to.
So there's a popping.
It's a jook.
A relationship.
Yeah. This is more of like it's like a bounce and it's more in the shoulders. Is more in the shoulders that we call. So if you ever see,
that's why all the Florida hip hop dancers have such a great bounce.
Yeah, if you ever see Tyler, Robo,
I was
Crystal,
thinking of Tyler,
Chantel, all of us together in like any kind of circle, Yoey.
If
that happens, if you hear anybody in Crystal play anything from Tampa, you're gonna see them shoulders going.
All right,
everybody.
I'll tell you what, we're gonna get back to this. You've watched a few of these, so I traditionally have asked dancers to do the drum and dance improv with me at the end, right? My electronic drum kit's in the shop.
Okay.
To do the real drum set would be too awkward.
Yeah.
So if you would condescend, I'm going to ask you to try to teach me the basic Jook bounce, right?
I got you.
Okay, cool. We'll do that at the end.
Okay.
So you started with your cousin Charles, or just?
Yeah. So my cousin Charles
Smith,
Charles Smith
had the crew, kill it. You come in and immediately you're like choreographing, which is kind of interesting. You always kind of had this like,
there was always
you're not
like
afraid to tell people what to do kind of thing.
No, and this is from the living room. We would always like make up dances and stuff like that, so it just came natural. Like,
and then when did you end up? Was it Lumiere? What's the name of the?
iLuminate.
Yeah. So how did you? This seems like your first big.
It was.
Is that accurate?
Outside of me being in the battle world, I used to do this thing called Adam and Eve battles, and a company called Vibe who put on a showcase called Canvas.
Is that same as Bonnie and Clyde?
Basically, but we called it Adam and Eve battle. Yeah. So I used to do those all the time, and I used to do the 1v1s a lot. And I was back then. It was like I was like one of the only females. There was just like a handful of us that would actually go up there. Like I remember Yoey having a battle with her. She was 14 years old, and I have footage. We have footage of it. You know what I mean? So again, like I say, seeing them then and then seeing them all out here now, just being great. I'm just proud. But yeah.
Okay. So did you just like? I'm wondering how you just dropped. Well, you still play pickup ball? It sounds like
yeah. I mean, I haven't played in a while, but yeah, I still will go.
Right. But like, what kind of? At what point did you delineate? Like, okay, basketball's cool, but I'm a dancer. Like, what?
Well, first of all, when I didn't, go anywhere with it, when it didn't take me anywhere, I said, you know what? Well, let me put my energy into this other thing that I actually really do love. And a lot of it was more like it was freestyle. And I moved to Jacksonville for a while and stayed with my dad. There was this whole, everybody has that little chapter in their lives where they're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is going on? I need to figure it out. And I used to do drag shows in Jacksonville. And I used to perform. But I never did the full like drag king look. But I used to do drag shows. It was, back in the day.
You were a masculine character.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's where also, like I told you, being an entertainer, me being there in Jacksonville, Florida, and just being back and just watching these drag queens and kings perform, like, I loved it. I loved it so much. And that's where a lot of my entertaining, like, ability, I would say, come from. I learned so much from just watching them. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Then, so you moved to New York.
I moved to New York in 2012.
So was that kind of the first big jump? Like
yeah.
meant, you're bouncing around Florida, you go to Jacksonville for a minute, but then
that was
and
one
was
of
New
the
York
big,
like for dance?
Yeah. I ended up auditioning. It was right after iLuminate did AGT. They did America's Got Talent, and after that, they started doing like little shows here and there.
Oh, wait a minute, Illuminate was at first a dance team?
Dance company, yeah.
That evolved into a. Well,
yeah.
The way you presented it earlier sounds like it was like a company that does like stage presentations or stage shows.
So iLuminate is a primarily like hip hop based company, and originally like the first there's a whole other story, a whole bunch of story behind it, but they did America's Got Talent, and they ended up getting. I wasn't.
You were not.
I came in right after AGT. They did AGT, placed third, and after that, they everyone wants them.
Gigs.
Everyone wants them. So they decided that they wanted to put a show together, and their longest show, most of the shows that they did were like a couple minutes long. It was never like an actual production. So they decided that they wanted to put a show together, and the first 20-minute long show, they had auditions for it, and my Flips, I don't know if you know who Ivan Velez is.
I don't.
Okay, well, if he has a moment to come in here, it'd be great. He's just one of pioneer in the game, in the industry. He's also from Florida, and he was my first agent. He saw me in a club when maybe a couple years before I joined iLuminate, and at first he thought I was a little boy. He said, Noel, who is his nephew, who is also one of my Adam and Eve battle partners, who I absolutely love, and he was like, "Oh, who is that out there dancing right now?" And who's that little boy? He was like, "No, that's L-boogie," and that's when I first met Flips. So Flips was a part of iLuminate. He was a part of the cast for that. So he reached out and sent this massive message out to all the Florida dancers. It was like, "Hey, we're having auditions in Atlanta for this new show that iLuminate is putting together at Six Flags." So went auditioned for that with my crew, because I was a part of a crew called Enigma at that time.
Enigma.
Yeah. And Enigma did America's Best Dance Crew. I joined them right after that. So I was joining everybody after their TV success, which I'm fine with. I was like, hey, I just want to be part of the team. Y'all are dope. So we packed into a car. My crew leader at the time, Mouse Vader, was like, hey, y'all, let's rent a van. Let's go. We hit it. We went to Atlanta, drove that 8 hours, auditioned. I ended up getting the call. It took a while. It was one of the longest audition processes. Ended up making it through and started. That was one of my big start, I feel like, in my dance career, was doing that show at Six Flags. And it was
Six Flags Atlanta. Six Flags where?
Yeah, Six Flags in Atlanta. Yeah.
And they put you
Atlanta,
up, so
Georgia.
you're in a hotel for the duration
So that
of
was
the show,
the thing. We had to find our own housing and all that. So that was a big thing for me. I was like, look, I don't know if I can lead the stability, because I was a youth development worker for 6 years. I worked for the city of St. Petersburg, working with kids. And I was like, I don't know if I can leave the stability for this unknown. So it was scary.
Yeah.
But everybody at the recreation center knew how much I loved dance. And not only did they say, Lisa, go, they sent me with money. They sent me with, they sent me off with you ain't coming back, because we know you're gonna be great, and if you need to come back, you have a place to land, but Lisa, you have to go. So I left. It wasn't just for me, it was for my family, it was for my community, it was for Camels Park Recreation Center, because they believed in me. So I took the jump, and it actually worked out. You know?
So from Atlanta, it sounds like the company got bigger, and then
so the company got bigger. Atlanta happened. We did Six Flags over Georgia. Then the first time I went out of the country, right after Six Flags happened, we ended up getting booked internationally. It was my first time going out of the country. I didn't have a passport or anything. I didn't have nothing. They was like, hey, we're going to all the stands: Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan,
you went to Uzbekistan?
Yes. My first time going out of the country.
Oh my
and we
God.
went.
I'm going to London.
Yeah,
I'm going to Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan, right? So it was 5 weeks that we did the tour, and I got my passport, and that's the first time going out of the country. After that, she decided, I want a show in New York. So then a few of us from that cast to Six Flags over Georgia, there was a team of, I think, 11 to 14 of us, I believe. 3 of us got asked to be in the cast for New York. It was myself, my friend Marcus Allen Cobb, just incredible, and then Trevor Harrison. The three of us got asked to be in that cast, and then yeah.
Wow. So then you moved you were in New York for like 3 years?
Three and a half years, yep.
So you go from never leaving the country to going to, I mean, you went to a bunch of countries in that tour, right?
Yeah. That was just the first.
And then New York. Mm-hmm. So you're like having your mind consistently blown, like for a few years there.
Left and right. I was like, yo, what is going on? But I was like, you know what? This is favor. This is, having faith and believing in the art, but also having people at home that also believed in me. So there was also this big thing of me, like, I don't want to disappoint anybody at home, but it was also, I felt so supported. Yeah. And I felt so supported by my family, by my community. Like, yes, go. And it also made me happy to be like from a small city, from St. Petersburg, Florida. And, there aren't a shit ton of people that come out of Florida, but that have done, but we do have a roster. Like there, let me say this again. Not that there isn't, there are, but sometimes not getting the recognition in a sense. But being able to be, what I would hear from a lot of people, dancers at home, is like, Lisa, like, you left and it gave us that inspiration to be like, or like drive or want, like, oh, right. Lisa, she doing it. Like, this is what we want to do. So it made me feel good to be, one of the ones for the dance community that was like, I went and they were like, oh yeah, especially from St. Pete. I can't speak about all of Florida, more St. Pete for me.
How did you like that New York lifestyle, like compared to, like,
It was different. I'm not going to lie.
Where did you live?
I lived in Washington Heights.
Washington Heights?
Yeah. Well, when I first moved there, it was Bed-Stuy. I lived in Bed-Stuy when I first moved there. But like the ending, like at the end, it was in Washington Heights. But it was, I ain't gonna lie, having a car and then not having a car was difficult for me in the sense of I can get in my car and just go and go where I want, come back. I have to wait for it was the train.
Well, you were on the A train a lot, right?
Yeah, I was off 191st.
Theaters, way down, yeah.
Yeah. So it was just getting used to that and then and navigating the train system. And once I figured that out, I was like, this is great.
There's so much freedom to it, right?
Yeah,
like if you're young, I think.
Yeah.
I definitely, I never lived there. I used to go quite a bit because I had a really, really good friend who lived there, and I was always like, it's just so exciting to be there. I was never like, oh, I need to live here. Yeah. But I get it. But I also get why people do get tired of it. Like, especially as you get older, man. That's a lot of concrete, a lot of stairs.
Younger, yes. Older,
unless you're rich as fuck. Right?
That part, I was gonna say, unless you got all the coin where you don't have to.
But it is a cool place.
Yeah.
I haven't been in a long time, actually.
Yeah, I'm actually going this coming weekend for Passing the Crown with Randy and Juliet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the Passing the Crown event that they have, and I'm hosting, and MC Lyte is actually.
Really?
Yes, MC Lyte is a part of it. So the first one that I did with them, this is their third one. The first one I did was in Denver, Colorado, and Rapsody was the featured artist. This time we're going to New York, and MC Lyte and Rapsody both are featured. So yeah.
Are you still working with iLuminate?
Yeah, I do mostly corporate things with them. We did the Vegas show, the Vegas residency.
What's your role with them at this point?
Right now, outside of education, it's honestly, the thing about iLuminate is everybody has so many roles that you can't boil it down to
education,
just
so
one.
You train new dancers that come in,
no,
for
it's
example?
mostly like for our educational. So we used to, I'll tell you about the last project we did. We had a project that we did in Abu Dhabi, where myself and another dancer / all the other things, Danny, we put together choreography, and we were basically teaching STEM and dance, basically, and how they work well together, because the company I dance for, we dance in light suits, and it's the whole like dance plus technology. And we taught 2 weeks. We taught over Zoom, taught a dance class to a ballet school there, and then we went to Abu Dhabi and was in person and put the show together with them and had their students. They had a group of students that were doing the lighting, learning how to do the light cues, and then we were teaching different like just formations and dances and things that incorporate the lights and how you can, like, someone's head goes off or an arm, you know what I mean? We have so many things that we can do and illusions that we can make with dance and technology and the dark and with the lights.
Do you dance in the shows as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a trip. Like I was Abu Dhabi.
It was because it was actually beautiful, which, you know, a lot. This is the thing that I did learn. When traveling to countries, especially countries where, you know, here in the States, like the footage that we see, like I've been to Saudi Arabia. We were there for a tour, and immediately I'm like, I'm a black queer woman with locks. I'm already afraid. I'm like, you know, being queer is punishable by death, like all of these things, and traveling the world. And sometimes like we can get scared from traveling because of other things that we see or we hear until we have an opportunity to actually go to these places ourselves.
Yes.
And also not just go to these places, but be engulfed in the culture. So I had an opportunity with Saudi to actually meet a woman that was actually traveling, like going home to visit her family. And I just had a real conversation where I was like, look, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous, X, Y, and Z. And she sat down and we talked, had coffee, and she was just telling me like, yeah, you don't like, I know the things that you see, this, that, and the third, but we actually ended up going, like her family invited us to her place for dinner. You know what I mean? So the part where we were, I'm not saying that the things aren't happening, but where we were, I felt safe, I felt secure, I was able to like, you know, out of respect, they said like I didn't, because I'm an American citizen, I didn't have to wear an abaya, but out of respect, I wore it and covered. You know what I mean?
I think you'd be smart to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, so I would say, yeah, Abu Dhabi was beautiful, and it was a great experience.
I was asking about the cultural part. Like I actually didn't imagine that you got threatened or anything.
Yeah,
like, just because I know you're with a company like it's fairly organized. But I did wonder how, you know, that culture is very different, and women are more explicitly put in a certain place. Yeah. And like if you're genderqueer, that's not. But I could imagine you could avoid dealing with that if you're only there for a short time.
Exactly.
Right?
Like I can't, you know, talk about the experience of if like you living there is completely different than like visiting this place, and also being with a group of people and having a team around you. All of that will change, you know, your situation. But the one thing I did find out that was interesting was when we first went to Saudi Arabia, women aren't allowed to perform, but we were able to get away with it because we were in light suits, and a dude could be in a woman's suit. And
wait, even if you're not them?
Yeah.
So like Celine Dion can't come to Saudi Arabia
like
and
women.
do a show?
Women aren't supposed to perform on stages.
Even huge rock stars.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Wow.
So we were some of the first women that actually, from my understanding, if I'm correct in what I was told, that actually got a chance to and performed. So the following year when we went back, I think it was like the next year or the year after that, we went back, and because we weren't supposed to be on stage, we couldn't bow. So when the lights come up, we had to leave stage. And the men were able to bow, but what the men would do is take our helmets and hold our helmets and bow as we have to walk back and like hide and not be seen. That next time we came back, we were allowed to bow, and it was one of the most emotional experiences of not everybody on stage was crying because of how huge that was.
That's awesome.
And so yeah.
I gotta pick. I'm super interested in cultures, and what's happening to the culture here in America is fucking killing me. Yeah. Like it's like I don't know. I went to school. I was an English major, right? I read, and I've always loved satire, right? So everywhere from like Mark Twain or people who did a lot of cultural analysis, like James Baldwin, or like I've always been interested in this kind of, you know, writers have always written about this stubborn, willfully dumb, right side of America that can be charming and can have some relevance, right? Like I think there is something in the American character that doesn't like to be pretentious, whatever they define that as. And I think there's a positive aspect to that. However, I think it's mostly a negative thing, right? Because people think, if you're getting above your raisins or whatever the expression is from wherever you come, right? Right? Like you want to put you in your place, right?
Yeah.
And that's fine. And all cultures have these problems, but like it's like this shit is taking over now. And
it's sad to see it.
It's really sad. How recently were you in Saudi Arabia? How long?
Oh God, this was a few years ago.
This was a few years ago. I'm just wondering if you're like, do you ever think about like, gosh, you know, I went to this place where Americans think, like you said, you know, there's this 50,000 foot view of it being so scary and so oppressive, and it's just like, well, now the president's like sending the tanks into the cities, and anybody who's not like
that part, the enemy within, you know,
we could talk within, and
that
like
shit,
the gender queer stuff, where like, I mean, maybe I'm naive, but I really did feel up until like, let's say 10 years ago, that, you know, a lot of people, especially people under 30, were really, even if they were kind of conservative people, they were kind of becoming more and more open to like, well, look at the gay marriage legalization, right? It's just like, how the fuck?
How did we get here?
I don't know.
How the fuck did we get here?
Do you feel like you saw it coming? Do you feel like it's...
I think for me, being a Black queer woman and coming from where I come from, I've always, for the most part, been in like survivalist mode, so nothing ever surprises me.
What do you mean by where you come from?
As far as like my upbringing, as far as, you know, for the most part, I've always, and then what, like, you know, because we could talk about like my life story. It's a whole other chapter of my life that I could have not been sitting here with you basically right now and having this conversation. My life could have took a completely different turn at one point in my life, and God got me. That's what I do know, and I know that I had a praying grandma. God rest her soul. Died. Listen, I know that she had a lot. She covered me through a lot of stuff, just in my upbringing. But basically, being in the States, there's always been something, you know what I mean, for me, being in this country, just being alive. So things that happen, I'm like, could I have seen it coming? I'm never surprised. I don't get surprised by it. I'm like, yep, you know, because it's always been a constant fight for me. There's always been a constant fight there, and I feel like for the rest of my life there always will be, and I will always have to fight for rights for myself, you know what I mean? But it doesn't mean that I'm not living, like I'm living my life, and I love my life. I love being Black. I love being queer. I love fucking being a woman. I love it. And if anything, it's just more reason for me to feel empowered versus it doing something to like push me back.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what we do. I'm going to still stand on, I'm still fighting for everything that I've been fighting for, amplified. You know, because the more you do, the more like, hey, we ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? I'm not going anywhere. We're not fucking going anywhere. So
everybody's been around always. You know?
So like, it's just this thing of like, let's do all of these things to like make you fear us. No, like I fucking hate where we are. I hate the state of it. But you know what? The one thing I can do, and being who I am and using my voice, using the platform that I have, is I'm going to always push positivity. I'm going to continue to fight, but I'm always going to push positivity into the universe. And that's why, like, be good, do good means so much to me. Yeah. Because I've had so many conversations with people just off of the things that I'm wearing. Like, words have power. They have power, and they can change a person's mindset. You know what I mean? Just by seeing something, it can change their day, change their mood, so I'm going to always, regardless of all the bullshit, I'm going to always push positivity and always fight for my rights for the most part, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it seems like it's becoming really like more dangerous to fight. It is. Where do you think, I do want to tie this back into the dance community, because I don't know if you know this, I talk to people about this all the time, and I even did a little carve out when I had Beast Boy here, and he was asking me about why I do this, the photography mainly, and I cut that into a separate episode, just so if anybody wants to know, I can be like, here.
I mean, I think I want to see it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I don't want to like repeat, but I do have this belief that this culture, street dance culture, and specifically is continuing to break down a lot of these barriers. Not that it's perfect. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. And that's really at the core of it why I photograph it, right? Like the art form came second. Yeah. I didn't know much about it, you know, but it was like, oh, here's a place where people are not scared of one another, or if they are, they're willing to go and deal with it. And how do you see the dance community, the street dance community responding to this time? And that's a really big question. So let me narrow it down. Meaning like, this time where all of a sudden America is like, and to some extent, other countries, but we'll just stick with where we live, right?
Yeah.
America's like all of a sudden like trying to dial back what I think both you and I see as progress, right? In terms of like breaking down boundaries and accepting people who they are and all this shit. Do you sense that the dance community is also dialing back, or they're fighting against it and continuing to, allow more people to represent who they are within this culture? Does that makes sense?
I think being an artist, it's and Nina Simone, an artist's job is to reflect the times, and I feel like as dancers, I think we've always had to fight and push back, because it's something that you can ask any dancer. A lot of people see this career as being something that doesn't have it's just a hobby. And that's not how we see it in our culture and what we do. This is our life, Yes. So we will continue to fight, in every way that we can. And I think the biggest thing that I love about the community is we continue to show up for each other. And especially when things are hard, we show up 10 times more. Like, we always show up for each other. And I think if we can continue to do that, and if something is taken away here, taken away there, we find a way. And I feel like as dancers and artists, we always find a way.
Just to be clear, I'm not at this point talking about money. That is a real thing.
I mean, as far as just having a stage to perform, continuing to show up for each other in a sense of having spaces, having
the spaces
events, having.
That's really what I'm kind of. I guess what I'm getting at is you look at the larger institutions of society right now, and even if whether it's the schools or the military or churches, and these places that we're opening up are now scared, and they're closing these doors, and that's real. Like, that's not just like some esoteric bullshit.
No, it definitely is.
You're seeing it, right?
I'm witnessing it, literally, not to go into much detail, but some productions I'm working with are literally dealing with it.
I've heard this. I know
mean?
people lost their jobs, right? Because of this, because all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
So what I mean by showing up for each other is.
But I'm seeing what you're seeing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm, as you know, I'm still going out.
Yeah.
And I'm showing up, and I see people are showing up, and I'm actually seeing more diversity in terms of one thing that's kind of surprised me that I've talked about is a lot of the battles are still really male dominated, even though there's tons of women dancing and more.
Yeah.
Let's face it, more little girls take dance lessons than boys do, right? So by the time you get into battle, there should be really a greater critical mass of women. But I'm definitely seeing that change. I'm seeing more ballroom styles show up in battles, and I see that crowds love them. Right? Even in some of the most, wide open battles where that's not what's going on. Yeah. Somebody shows up and starts whacking and really playing to the crowd, and it's just it's a hit every time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope this community can continue to be like a place for all that.
Well, we're all, everyone is accepted. Everyone, wherever you come from, whatever walk of life, dance is what brought us all together, and let that be the reason for the season. Let that be what we come together for. Yeah. And and I think what it has done for me is it's opened up my world, I will say personally, to meeting people I probably would have never met in my life, having conversations with people I probably would have never talked to in my life, and that's what I love about dance, is the community and the people that I've met, the relationships I've formed. And that's why it's so important. And that's why, I say, we keep showing up for each other, because we love it. We love it so much. And you, first of all, let me just say this. You are part of that. You show up and you do all of this amazing artwork, and it means the world to us because you see us. And you want the world to see us how you see us. And it means,
that's true.
It means it means the world to us, because that's what we need more of. It's people that see it and love it. And even if you're not a dancer, but you came into this thing, you're like, my God, I just love this. I love it so much. And that is what I mean. I would have never met you had you not fell in love with this. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, but it's that we just all have to keep showing up for each other for the most part.
Well, and not only is it a place where people show up, but it's one of the few places where you can show up. That's not part of
You're accepted.
a rigid, I know church can be this for a lot of people, but not everybody fits in that. I know I didn't fit. I grew up going to church, and I realized I don't fit in that box, right? Yeah. And that other art forms are more isolated or small group. Yeah. Right. Yeah. This is like,
Yeah. No, you come in here with the right energy, with respect, with love.
Sweat, and you gotta, you gotta show up.
Yeah.
How is it like? Have you always been somebody who likes to meet new people?
Oh my God, no. When I was little, I was shy as hell. You wouldn't think it. You wouldn't believe it. I was super shy.
No, I wouldn't believe it.
I was so shy. And sports actually got me out of that.
Oh,
sports
okay.
changed,
right, team.
Team, like being a part of a team, actually changed that for me, big time. So, yeah. And then
when you started traveling, though, that must have been.
Oh God. Yeah.
I love talking to people like this because I feel like, it's such a privilege to be able to.
Oh yeah.
Travel. Mm-hmm. Do you remember do you have any travel stories where sat down either on a plane or at a show or to dinner with someone, and you're like, I don't know, you start talking to someone and you realize that you're suddenly connecting with someone who comes from this place that you didn't imagine?
Yeah.
Can you think of anything like that?
Say this, one of my favorite places that I did go that I haven't been back to but would love to go back to is Samoa.
What did you do in Samoa?
We performed in Samoa. It was the three of us, so it was a part of the educational tour. It was myself, my friend Danny, and Mateo. The three of us would travel, and mostly it was like underrepresented communities. It was basically it felt I was connected to that because it was, underserved communities that we would go to and bring iLuminate to them and teach dance, talk about technology and dance, talk about, all kinds of things.
Wow.
But Samoa.
So you were going to underserved neighborhoods in Samoa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, different schools, I remember one place we went into, and this is why I tell you, this is why it is important to travel. The joy. These kids was walking around, they ain't having no shoes. They just, had on some uniforms that were, some pieces looked like this and they weren't all quite together. But I just remember the welcome that we got and the joy and how happy, it was something that was unmatched. I'd never experienced that in my life. And I can tell you that both Danny and Mateo would tell you the same thing. It was a life-changing experience just being there. And it was beautiful. My God, it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. And we got and the other thing is they always they gift you things when you come, and we walked in and there's this tradition.
Like the Polynesian culture, right?
Yeah, they do a song for you as you're arriving, like the haka. They do a performance basically in the haka and welcoming you in. And I remember this is a funny story. They told us, it was like, do you guys have a thing that you do, or do you want to do a song or something? So we looked at each other and was like, we have nothing. We have no idea. What will we do that is equivalent to? We made up something on the spot, and it was the funniest thing. And we used a song, and we just slowed it down and started remixing it. It was just one incredible. I can't even think of the song, but if I can remember it, I'll send it to you. But we made up something on the spot, and it just ended up working, and they were so excited about it. It was a song that wasn't ours, and we just chanted it, and it was just. But it just, I laugh about it because, in a good way, not laughing at the experience, but joy. It was just so much joy that entire trip, and it was somewhere that I would have never gone to had it not been for dance.
Right, but you were open to. I certainly, I've traveled a little bit, and I've benefited from it. I've met a lot of people like yourself who feel that way about travel. Yeah. And I generally agree, but at the same, for example, I used to work a lot as a secretary, admin assistant, to support myself. Yeah. And for a long time I did this. Temp jobs, full-time jobs, all kinds of different things. And a lot of this was for a financial management company, right? A big one. Yeah. A global one, right? So you got a lot of people with MBAs at least, and a lot of international people, right? Yeah. Traveling a lot, managing huge amounts of money from all over the place, right? India, China, France. And I remember at some point I'm like, a lot of these people have traveled everywhere, and they've been to the best schools, and they've met people from all over the world since they were pretty young.
and they still don't get it. So there's something I agree with that, but there's something else there about who you are and what you're open to.
Is that
right? Because it's like I remember having this thought very distinctly. Like at some point, I was probably like in my late 20s or early 30s, and I'm like, not that, a lot of these people were great, right? I'm not saying, but I'm saying, I met all these people who have all these experiences and all this, and they're just still like the same asshole who just like complains about everything that's not their way and looks down on people and like all this stuff. And it's like, okay, so there's travel in itself is not. No,
it's not that. You have to. It's not it. Yeah.
The only thing.
Not just
right?
traveling. You have it's like of course, like where you're going, what you're going for, what your experience, what you plan on, like the experiences that you want to have. Like a lot of people will travel to a country and literally just want to have an American experience in another country.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And they're just like, I just want to go here and say I've been, go see some things and just be a tourist.
Sure.
Versus actually engulfing themselves into the, the culture and actually wanting to be not in the, this is where all the tourist people go and da-da-da. So I think it's also dependent upon like what you're going for. Like if, a lot of these people, they probably was just going and making deals and doing all of that. So they don't care about any of that. They're just going, get on the plane, get there. They just want to get to where they need to get to, in and out.
Yeah.
They have an in and out mentality.
But you still have to deal with the culture.
No, you do. You do.
It's all very strange.
But they could have had someone that was dealing with all of that for them as they were traveling.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So.
What did you think of LA when you first came here? Like you grew up in the.
It wasn't.
You grew up in the. Do you consider where you grew up in the South? I never know if Floridians and Texans are a little bit sometimes like.
I mean, I consider it still. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Geographically, sure it is, but I know especially Florida and Texas, like they kind of often think of themselves as their own thing, and not the South. Like my mom grew up in Southern Illinois, and you couldn't tell her she's from the South, but it's like you ever been to Southern Illinois? It's the South. St. Louis is kind of a big city.
It's been a couple years. But
yeah. Anyways, and then so you're in New York, and then you come to LA.
I mean, it wasn't drastic for me because what I will say, I've had the privilege of having a lot of other friends that were transplants that come from other places that live, So coming to LA, I knew like mostly everyone already, and I'm from Florida. So, I mean, mine is like the one thing I will say, Florida, the humidity will get you. It's
you
cool.
Hell
no. I'm gonna tell you why. Like I will never I love Florida. I just went home for my birthday recently, and child, when you don't go for a while and you go back and it just hits you like, oh yeah, I forgot about this. You just standing there and just sweating. Yeah. And then every building you walk into is ice cold. And then you walk back outside, it's just humidity. So it was like getting, reacclimated to that, like that I kind of hadn't been home for a while, but it wasn't a drastic change.
But do you like it here? Do you think
No,
you'll stay?
I do. I mean, I went from hurricanes to earthquakes, I will say that. So it was me like, okay, Lisa, how do we deal with like the hurricane? I know what hurricane season is. Right. I know how to prep for it, all of that. Coming here, when I first moved here, I think it was literally within the first week I was here, 2 small earthquakes happened. All of my friends that have been here for years was like, Lisa, we've been here 8-10 years and I haven't experienced one.
It's been a lull.
There was like, oh, you brought them with you. I was like, what do you mean?
It's a little unnerving as someone who has lived here my whole life. Like I grew up in Orange County and moved to LA, and it's a little unnerving that we really haven't had a big earthquake in a long time.
And what did I just watch? And I don't know why I watched it. And it was what is it? The one with the rock? Is it it starts with an A. I have to find it. But yeah, and it basically was California and its earthquakes. And I
didn't see that movie. I know what you're talking about.
I was like, why did I watch this? Why did I watch this? It was a great movie though, but very unnerving. Like,
are these all your clothes from your line?
Yeah. The hat, the jersey.
When did you start that?
A couple years. Like I've always had it. I had it in 2013, but I didn't really put a lot of time and energy into it until I would say when I moved here, I started, and then the pandemic gave everyone ample time to you know what I mean? Like actually
inventory.
Put, yeah. So I started basically kind of finding what it is that I wanted to do with it all. Because I mean, I do some of everything. So it was like my brain is like all of this and trying to do this with my brain has been like the hardest thing. But I've kind of found what it is that what my story is when it comes to my clothing line and what I want to tell and show and like what it means to me, what I hope it does for the world. So that's been in the past, like I would say couple of years actually, that I've like started to find that voice.
And what's it called?
It's called Blame Boogie LLC.
Blame Boogie LLC.
Yeah.
Okay.
So blame me for how fly you look is basically, you know. Blame it on the boogie for real. Yes.
Right. And I saw you made custom outfits for for Randy and Tactic and Rovo.
I had to. I'm just so proud of them. And I was like, you know what? I'm making y'all a jersey. And they were like, Randy was telling me the story and how they wanted to use special delivery. So I was like, they was like, can you put that on the front and then put our names on the back? I was like, okay. So I just started sketching out and drawing it out, and I liked it. I was like, sent it to them, and they're like, yo, this is great. Made the jerseys, got them to her literally the night before she took off to go to Korea. Yeah. And then they wore them.
I was so happy that they got to go. I know they didn't show up. Like, I know they didn't perform as well as they'd like to, but they got a trip of a lifetime.
That part, had that part. I was just so incredibly proud and happy for each of them. And like traveling, and being able to travel for something that you love.
Yeah, and get paid
it's
to
unmatched.
do it.
Get paid. That's unmatched. Unmatched.
In Korea, what a great place to go.
I was like, girl, bring me this back. I want this.
Oh, skincare?
Listen, yes, honey, because they got it and I want it. Okay? Yes.
We've covered a lot. Is there anything? Oh, I did want to ask you, you're still working with that?
iLuminate, yeah.
iLuminate?
Mm-hmm.
Are there any projects that like you're working on that you want people to know about or keep an eye out for?
I would say this Be Good, Do Good. I'm working on something with my partner that's going to be big, and keep a lookout for that.
Okay.
I would say that I don't want to go too in depth with it right now, but just know that we're trying to make Be Good, Do Good a global thing.
Okay.
Because we both see the need for it and want to push it more into the world, like all of the positive messaging, because it's the Be Good, Do Good. Right. I got Lead with Love, Spread Love. So look out for that. You know what I'm saying? Soon.
Well, you're definitely you're an effective messenger for this. Like, I remember when I met you, I think it was at one of the I Am Home jams, and you were emceeing, and I had never, I don't think I'd met you, period, and I was like, wow, this is real. Like, to keep it, like, I just could tell, like, to keep up that kind of energy for 2-3 hours and not be ever fake or just kind of tired with it.
I
like,
love it.
You never dropped it. And then I've seen you and Hans MC together, which
God.
Really, the two of you should just be hired to MC everything. Right? No offense to any other MCs out there.
I love him. And it's just like we get each other.
Great.
And it's like when you connect with somebody and it's like you don't even need words to do it. Man, it's just unmatched. It's unmatched. And I just, honestly, I love it so much. And because I've always been a fan of like putting joy into the universe and making people smile.
Well, you really do it. Like, it's real. I remember coming home and telling Joni, I was like, there's this MC L-boogie. I was like, it was just amazing. It made the event twice as good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. I just have fun. I really do enjoy it.
And do what I was asking you earlier, I'm not sure do you rap as well?
I can.
You can.
I'm okay at it.
Okay.
But I'm not a rapper. I will say this.
There was something I saw in one of your profiles that I thought said that
I freestyle.
MC'd.
I could freestyle. Like I did at I think somebody called and I posted it. Flavor of the Year. I spit like a couple bars on the mic.
You know what?
Yeah.
I remember that now.
The thing is I can. Like I will say I have the ability to, but do I consider
myself? Your MC style's kind of like freestyling anyway, but it's not rhyming.
Yeah, exactly. So I have a love for it. I have a passion for it. Will I say that I am? I don't call myself that.
Okay, I get it.
But I enjoy it. I love it. I can riff, go back and forth with people, on the mic, spit a couple bars, whatever, what have you. But yeah, I love it.
Are you doing
a fan.
Flavor this year again?
I'm doing Freestyle Session and Flavor of the Year.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll see you at least one of those.
Yeah, let's go.
Is there anything else you wanted to get to?
No, I just want to say, first of all, I just want to thank you for doing this. It really is important.
It really is my pleasure.
Thank you. We appreciate it. And I say we because I feel like I can speak for everybody that has come in here and sat down with you. Like, we really do appreciate it, and thank you for seeing us and for you showing up for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, the feeling's mutual, right? Yeah. Like, I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't getting the love in return.
Yeah.
I appreciate you saying that. I can say with all honesty that you are the 16th guest. I basically took a break. My goal was to get 10 of them done in the first 6 months. I got 15 done. And then this place just gets too damn hot until basically until basically today practically. Right? And so I took a break. So I guess I'll call this season 2.
Yeah.
But you're season 2 first guest. But everybody has enjoyed it in one way or another. And most people have really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So it just lets me know that there is people do want to talk and tell their story. And I'm a chatty motherfucker, so like I'm into it.
I love it. Yeah. Let's go.
But thank you so much.
No, thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Appreciate
can we? Do you got a roll? Because
no, I could listen.
I would love if you could at least attempt to show me.
Let's go.
Show me the style.
Let's do it.
All right. I got to rearrange things here. We're gonna take a break.
Let's go.
We'll be right back. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Yeah.
Alright, so Jooking, for this dance, a lot of it's in the show, so you wanna
On the beat?
But there's like a little sway that you have to do, so when you do it, you can step into it, so step, and when you step, think about the juke coming up like that, so it's like a boom, 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 so you step into it, but it's like an after juke, boom, boom. But make sure when you step, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, but
So.
Yeah, but just do it.
Right. Is that very help? What are you saying? On the step?
Boom, boom. So something about when it hits the ground, my shoulders go up. So it's like that. Boom, 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 boom. And you step, like, make sure to keep step. And you can go anywhere with it. And it's all in the shoulders.
Alright.
I'm gonna touch. Yeah, anything. Then I can give you,
Alright, this is good. I can't remember, but I'm still
yeah. What else can I give you? I can give you the
But this, you still, I mean, it's just a basic idea.
Yeah, and then like it's a lot of it in.
Alright.
As long as you get it makes it like if you can see like a boom. And you can even be low, like creeping. Let's go. Let's creep. Yeah.
All right.
You better jump.
It's no joke.
Thank you.
Now I know.
Now you know. So when you see all of us get together, you see us start doing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Good job. Jukin!